Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Real Leel Show, a late Real Leel Show. We talking about exclusively late. All right, so late that you probably sleep, your grandmother probably sleep, your mother probably sleep, your dog is probably sleep. Y'all get the point by now. But anyways, man, oh man, I got my special guest. He's on the In the Huddle show with me as a correspondent on the In the Huddle show. So I'm glad to have him on with me at this time of the night to chop it up about some sports. Cam
Let's get it.
Jones, aka Coach Mello. How's it going, my brother?
Hey man, I'm good, bro. I'm glad to be on the late edition of the Real Leel Show. Just want to say it's about one something in the morning, but hey man, I'm pumped. I'm hyped to share to share with you guys some good content with the one and only Real Lil baby. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. You know what? We might as well start it off with two great basketball games that took place a couple hours ago that went straight down to the wire. Man, oh man, I'm gonna start off with my biggest takeaways from both of these games. And you know what? It's nothing new. It's something that I always knew. Giannis and James Harden, they have all that talent. They can win regular season MVPs all they want. It looks
Yeah.
good. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when you have, discussions about top 10, top 15 all time, maybe you having an MVP in the regular season may kind of get you in that bracket. But the key thing here is a championship. And based on these guys' history, including games tonight, I don't know if these guys are more than capable of bringing that same regular season theatrics to games that matter. Because James Harden, what was the knock on James Harden before this bubble season, resumed? Oh, he can't show up in the big games or he runs out of gas. Same thing I seen tonight. Once again, James Harden, where were you? Giannis, the same thing as well. I mean,
Oh,
the points is not indicative of the game he have. Sometimes points could be a little deceiving. So maybe he, performed a little better scoring wise, but from the eye test, you knew the brother, he could have did way more than he did. Chris Middleton was out here doing good. So you know what? Let's get to these games and break it down one by one, and let's talk about this Miami Heat and Bucks game. The Miami Heat won 116 to 114 by 2 points. And Mello, talk to me. What's your thoughts on
man,
this game?
man, to be honest with you, the Heat were up by 8 with like I say less than 2 minutes left in the game. You get what I mean? It was like 110 to 102. And when I saw the Bucks came back and pretty much tied this game up, I was like, oh my God, this game is crazy. But I'm just proud that the Heat were able to finish victorious tonight. You know, clutch free throws by Jimmy buckets. Tonight. So to be honest with you, I mean this Bucks team, man, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised that they're down 2-0. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I say that because at the end of the day, all they have is Giannis. You get what I mean? Like I predicted, like in my opinion, the only way that this Heat team could beat this Bucks team. Stop Giannis, make everyone else shoot. I don't care if Brook Lopez scored 20 plus on me. I don't care if Middleton scored 20 plus on me. Bledsoe, I don't care about that. I just felt like as long as you slow down Giannis, stop Giannis to, of course, don't get me wrong, he's going to score some points. But you slow him down, don't make him get hot. I say Giannis is a finisher. You know what I mean? Like he just just drive to the hoop and just dunk the ball. But if you slow that down, oh man, trust me, you're gonna give Giannis a nightmare. But I'm just like I said, I'm just glad that the Heat were able to pull this off. They're up 2-0. But I have a feeling if the Heat go up 3-0, oh man, the Bucks are in deep, 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 deep. When I say deep, like more than 6 feet. I say you see, like they won't be able to touch the ground in the pool type thing. You get what I mean? Like
Exactly. It's
they're
that
gonna be
guy that that can't swim or nothing like that, just
yes.
sinking. Oh man, yeah, you brought up a good point. Once you stop Giannis, that's the key to victory. And the Miami Heat have the guys to stop Giannis, and that's exactly why before this series started, you can check the tapes. In my last episode of In the Huddle, I picked the Miami Heat to win in 6, simply because I know the Heat had the bodies that they could throw on Giannis. Jimmy Butler don't even have to touch Giannis. When your best player don't even, and a good defender that Jimmy Butler is, don't even have to touch Giannis, you're good money. You got 3 or 4 or 5 guys that can guard Giannis. You saw in this game, they got Derrick Jones Jr. to come in the
Mm.
game in the fourth quarter and play some valuable minutes defensively on Giannis. I
Oh yeah.
mean, when you got a guy coming off the bench that can guard Giannis, you also got Iguodala as well. I mean, you
Yeah.
got so many bodies that you can throw on Giannis. And
Yep.
Giannis himself, his game it's evolving, but it's not evolved.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Giannis. He has to evolve his game. He's partly one-dimensional almost, you can say, in his game. And once you stop him and once you got the game plan, bro, it's clipped. It's clipped. And this is the thing I gotta say about Giannis. Because I know, we can look ahead a little bit to free agency. Listen, granted, they're only up 2-0, Miami. They are number one seed for a reason. They can come back and make this series competitive and win the series, even though I still think Miami's going to win. But let's look ahead. I mean, to free agency that looms with Giannis. If Giannis leaves and people say, oh, Giannis, you need to leave the Bucks because you don't have a second star. Excuse me here. Chris Middleton showed up. Chris Middleton showed up the last two games, or most of the games in the playoffs. He showed up, especially yesterday.
Right.
I forgot how much points he put up. He put up 23 points. He showed up.
Correct.
He was balling. 23 points.
Lopez gave him 16.
Exactly.
Lopez.
So at the end of the day, Giannis, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Listen, am I really a Batman?" Because Richard Jefferson came out with an interesting post that I posted on Facebook. And I want to know what y'all think about it when y'all watch the video. He was like, Giannis might be a Pippen. There, I said it. He needs his Jordan. He went as far as to call Giannis a pimpin'.
That's a bold statement right there. Like, to be honest with you.
He's sure playing like it. He's sure playing like it.
Rebound-wise, yes. That's not like Pippen. You get what I mean? Like, it's not like Pippen numbers. He does need his Jordan. He does need that actual score that will actually score. You get what I mean? We don't need another finisher. We need somebody that's going to hit threes or make, mid-ranges. You get what I mean? And he's playing like a Pippen too. So
exactly. And there's a lot of similar. Oh, go ahead. I
was about to say, I kind of question when he won Defensive Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Kind of question it.
Yeah, because could have been AD.
When Jimmy Buckets dropped 40 in Game 1, I was like, where was Giannis? If he's supposed to be NBA Defensive Player of the Year, right? If you're Defensive Player of the Year, why didn't you guard Jimmy Buckets, right? Why didn't you guard Jimmy Butler? How did Butler drop 40 in Game 1? Explain that to me.
Can't happen. Can't happen. And if you're Giannis, you see this brother cooking up, you got to take that responsibility. You have to say, Coach, don't worry about it. You're going to thank me later. Like Drake album, thank me later. All right? I'm going to take on the challenge of guarding Jimmy Butler. And that's what separates the greats from the good, right? The greats from the good. Right now, Giannis is a good. He's not a great. And it all goes to that drive that listen, I want it. I'm going to show up in the fourth quarter. Right? There's some guys, like I said, explain with Harden, that good in the regular season, have all these stats in the regular season, but come playoff time, they don't have that same dog. They cannot replicate it when it matters the most. And that's how I say Giannis. Last year, Giannis got marginalized by Kawhi Leonard. Okay? And in this game, in this series, once again, he's not showing up. Yeah, he had 29 points, but we could all look and see that was an ugly 29 points. Sometimes you have an ugly 29, right?
Oh, yeah.
It happens like that. So listen, in order for the Bucks to win this series, Giannis has to play better. He has to take on that responsibility. And guess what? Jimmy Butler didn't even cook up tonight. He still played good. He played a good game. He was just distributing in this game. He was like, listen, I already dropped 40. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let my team do what they got to do. And he was distributing the ball, and they were hitting open shots. They're a very good three-point shooting team. A very, very good three-point shooting team.
Dragic.
He played good. Made open shots. He was good offensively. He had 23 points to go along with that. James Crowder
had 17. Yeah.
James Crowder had 16. So the Heat played together. They got guys that can make open shots. They're very well balanced. They don't rely on one or two guys. And the Heat will definitely make some noise. And would I be surprised if they make the finals? I'm not going to be surprised. And if they do, even if they lose, this is Eric Spoelstra's best number one gig right here. This is his best work. Even, let's say I know he won championships before with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. I could have been the daggone coach, and I would have won 3 rings, okay? But this right here will be his best coaching gig right here. This will be his highlight, getting this team to the finals, even if they lose.
No, man, without a doubt, bro. I truly believe Eric Spoelstra is one of the most underrated coaches in the NBA today, man. To be honest with you, the
Yeah.
guy knows how to coach, bro. The guy
And you
knows
know
how to
what?
win. He knows how to
And
coach. He knows how to put his team in good situations. You get what I mean? Like this current Miami Heat team, this is the most well balanced team that I've seen in a long time. You get what I mean? There's no dominant superstar that's gonna take over the game. Yo, at any given moment, anybody could snap. You get what I mean? It could be Jimmy Buckets, Duncan Robinson, Dragic, Bam, Hero, Jay Crowder. It's just like, yo, this team right there is well balanced, and I love what Spoelstra is doing with this team, and even with the leadership of Butler. You get what I mean? At first, I kind of questioned Jimmy Butler signing to Miami. Kind of like, because
me
of his
too.
past,
Me
of his
too.
past. What happened, how he ended in Minnesota, and how things ended in Philly. You get what I mean? But overall, I just love the way how like he loves his teammates, man. Like the leadership is there, and everyone is held accountability for their actions. So, in my opinion, I truly believe this Heat team, will go far, man. As long as they continue to play how they're playing right now, hey, man, the sky's the limit from there.
Exactly. And you brought up a great point. I questioned the move to Miami myself, but when I thought
Yeah,
about it, I'm like, you know what? Jimmy Butler wants to do. And it may seem hard to some people. It may seem complicated. It may seem like geometry. I wasn't a geometry guy in high school, but I did
right.
it. I graduated. I went to college, graduated. But it's not Einstein. It's not, rocket science. It could be to some people, but all Jimmy Butler wants to do is win.
That's it.
Right? That's all he wants to do. All the brother wants to do is win.
It's
No
fun.
matter
Yeah.
if he's the guy that got to get the buckets, like how he did in game one, or he's the guy that got to be the distributor because he got the team around him, like in game two,
Oh yeah.
hitting
Oh,
shots. So the sky's the limit for the Miami Heat, and that's what I'm saying here, and that's what me and Cam is saying here on the Real
you're
Leel Show.